going live in.
We're always here.
We are live. All right, welcome everyone
We
to
never left the
episode
chat. We've
2.
been here since
Hopefully,
last
this time
session.
around we'll have
We've been
You've been
trapped in
imprisoned
this
a
us.
little
dimension.
bit less issues with the technical problems because, yeah, I decided this time around to change things up a little bit as far as how I'm doing certain things. So hopefully, it will be a little bit easier. And actually, I do.
That would be preferable.
All right. Actually, I think I have to pause the stream for a second because I realize I have to. My stream is looking a little blurry for some reason. So I'm just gonna. Yeah. So hopefully this time it should. I mean, it's not too. It doesn't look too bad on it, but if it's okay, if I can make it look a little bit better, that definitely looks a little bit
set
better.
it to stream in cuckoo quality.
My Windows 8 computer can handle
Yeah,
it.
I just want to
Don't
see.
worry.
Yeah.
Yes, episode 2.
Yeah.
I'm just double checking something.
The
Okay,
SpongeBob
so is it
title card
showing-
drops 10
is it showing
years
my-
later.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm just
Yes,
making
it
sure.
is.
Is it?
Alright,
showing it
everybody,
on
you ready
as
for
the
episode 2?
one I'm just wanting to make sure that it's not. Okay, no, because I just realized
It's 7 years.
I said my one key notifier for which is the GM one and which one is not is that my GM view is set to 30% and the player one is at 35. That's how I know if I can't figure it out. I just look at my percentage of this. I try not to because I want to be able to get the full screen. So, all right. Anyway, so last time we left off, you guys under Piccolo's tutelage. I lose that word. Guidance. Yeah, that's probably a better word. He wanted to
I
get a
constantly
more
change
accurate
percentage.
representation of each of your abilities individually and as a whole. Obviously, one of you here already has a little bit of an understanding of what you're capable of, but he wanted to see how you guys worked as a whole, and you guys asked to make it hard, and well, it definitely seemed like it was definitely difficult, but you guys succeeded, and you guys tried to do a little bit of personal training after resting, just to try and loosen yourselves up after everything. You guys feel a little bit better than you did. You feel like the experience definitely helped. That's for sure. Definitely helped. And now you were told at the end of last session, you were kind of told that rest up, take the day to yourself, and when you guys wake up, to meet up in the main hall for the official orientation. But they did tell you that your orientation will be a little bit different, since most people, they go through orientation, then they get put into a group, and then they go do the training that you already did. You guys were kind of thrown together last minute, and nothing was really prepared for you, and they're kind of, because of the extra special circumstances of who you have with you and stuff, they might give you a little bit of special treatment, because yeah, I mean, you've got Garlock, who is basically Icer's not necessarily protege, but like he's seen, kind of. He's seen you, so he's seen you. He's seen what you're capable of. You're a little bit more. You're not just some random person off the street that just signed up on a piece of paper saying, "I want to join the patrol," and then they have to go through background checks and stuff. And then Icer, they don't have to perform any background checks on you. Icer pretty much knows Hale he knows your background. He knows everything about you. And then yeah, and then with Riku, Piccolo's already has already did all the paperwork weeks ago, so
Hale. Yeah.
pretty much, yeah.
He knows if he tries to do the recruitment process, somebody's probably gonna get shot.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got vouched for by the
No,
pickle.
he's just a pickle that spent too much time in the sun.
He be orange now. He transformed into a
He's
new.
rainbow. He's an Umaboshi.
All right.
He upgraded from pickle to Umaboshi.
Yeah, exactly. Is he alive? No, he's there as far as I was aware.
You there?
But
Riku?
so yeah, so it's the following day.
Oh yeah, I'm here.
You guys
Okay,
have
no, I'm
made
just
your
like,
way
so you were
to
very quiet, so I was like, you good?
Yeah, I was just making sure.
the orientation, and
Everyone
there's probably a
understands
why.
good like
Do you
2,
defibrillate?
3 dozen other people just sitting there, and they're all locks
No.
of
Well,
you.
cool.
Surprisingly, more Majins than anything, which is like really weird at first glance, because like other than Riku, most of you like have only heard of Majins and never have actually seen one. Garlock, you've only seen one in your entire time with Icer. So the fact that they're like over 50% of the people here are all Majins is kind of like, oh, that's weird. Boo. Icer did say that the reason there's so many donuts is because you can't really stop a Majin from making donuts.
Yeah, that is pretty weird.
Here's the thing: is that the
You-
policy
you
originally
guys
was
all
no
just hear
donuts, but
Sasuke
then the
say
Majins got
that.
too angry and then started turning the people that told them no donuts into donuts. So it kind of escalated a little bit too far. So they're
You'd
kind
be
of just be like, you know
just
what?
At the
You can
cafeteria,
have your
it's like,
donuts.
there's no meat, only candy. Jesus, that's
It,
so weird.
Yeah, the Majin members of the Galactic
I mean,
Patrol
and some
are basically
and
just like
some of them
fat Boston cops
are
that just be
under
like,
the
"Oh,
impression
yeah,
that
okay.
you know, if things go
Yeah,
bad,
you see what you
killing
did
people
wrong
is on the
here?
table, and that
They
implies
just don't want
turning
their
them to
amusement
candy and
park
eating
to be
them.
touched. As long
So
and that's
it's
why
a
they joined
free
the
source of
Galactic
food
Patrol
that they
be
don't
like,
have to
"Don't
pay
mess with
for,
fun candy
and
playtime over there.
It's doing a
Yeah.
service
We're
to
gonna
other
beat
people
you
while
up.
making sure that their other sources of food aren't getting killed. So, you know, it's a win-win. They might be a little trigger happy with turning people into food, and then it might get yelled at and have to turn them back and not eat them and be upset.
Indeed.
But then they just make donuts out of, like, turn chairs into donuts, and then they're happy. So, yeah, you'll notice on this place there's not as many chairs as there probably should be. Or tables.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, they when they get angry, they'll just turn the nearest item that they can find into candy and eat it. But yeah, that's definitely caused some issues with the patrol, as you guys are already kind of aware. But they're kind of just whatever. You guys are getting enough
I
exercise
see.
out in the field as it is. You're not going to get too fat.
Mm. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
how's the org
Not to
going?
mention,
Oh, you-
I was
Yeah,
gonna say,
don't
not
mess
to
with
mention,
Majin Buu.
Hale probably
Which
has
one?
that exact same discussion
Sorry.
with Father that Frieza had with everyone else, which is just there's 2 people you don't fuck with, and now he's like, there's so many people you don't.
Yeah,
fuck with."
there's
multiplied,
There's a
no.
lot, and it's
There's so many
not
of them now.
it's not a easy thing for them to deal with. But they're
There's
also
so
some of
many
the
Majin.
strongest people that they can have, and
There's
they're
there's
effective at what
Majin
they do.
Uu,
So.
Majin 2, Majin 3,
Anyway,
Majin
so
Fu.
you see, it's a majority of
Bibbidi bobbidi
Majin Boos,
boo.
and then the next
Yeah,
most
there's so
common thing
many
you
of them.
probably see, there's a lot of like animal people. You're not really sure if they're aliens or any like dog-based humanoid or what, because there's just so many of them. Some of them are like green-skinned, but they're like dogs. So it's like it's hard to tell if they're aliens or if they're just really strange humans. And here and there, you see some people that have tails, but like monkey tails, but they have like red hair, blue hair. So you're like, they're Saiyans, but they're got colored hair. That's weird.
Yeah.
There's not that many. There's only like 2 that you can see, but they're there and they're noticeable. Yeah, especially for you, Hale. You notice the Saiyan tail. You're like, oh god, more monkeys. Yep.
Monkey.
Anywho.
Hale's got the chitters. Yeah. Yeah.
So
God, there's so many of them. They're reproducing.
yeah, they didn't really
on
give
me.
you a specific time as to when the orientation was. They just said kind of
Eight
first as you wake
strong
up,
together.
go there, and that was pretty much it. And you guys have been there since, and it's probably been
But yes,
you're
I
off in the
assume we all
corner,
find
actually,
our,
yeah, probably
spaces and,
for the
get
time
ready for
being.
the
Actually,
orientation
it might be
again.
more sense to have you guys on a different map because. I'm gonna move you guys over to a different map. Boop.
Yeah.
Put you
Hale
guys
is
back over
avoiding
here.
everyone.
Blasting Linkin Park music. Become so numb.
Nice kid.
I'm currently just in my chair with a tiny like key ball and kind of like throwing it in the air, catching it with my finger repeatedly. He looks very bored.
Hale also looks
So
very bored.
it's just a lot of people interacting and stuff.
I think Garlock
But then
is
suddenly
not
there's this really loud
insanely
sound,
bored.
almost kind
I
of
think
like
he's
slamming
more
a door,
excited
and
to
you see that
actually
you see
get this stuff over
Icer
and done with to go on
walking
missions.
walking through, and
but it's a
immediately
lot of
it
talking.
goes like unless you guys continue talking, it's complete dead silence everywhere. Like everyone is like complete silence, and standing with him, you see this kind of tall, burly, bald-headed. At first you think he's a humanoid, but then you're like, wait, no, his skin's not tan. It's like it's actual orange, and he's got white facial hair, long beard, almost basically think Nappa, but if his skin was orange and had a beard that was white. He looks like an orange skinned Nappa. Yeah. Imagine Topo, but with a more regular sized humanoid body. That would probably
I
be
was
the best
imagining
way to
Nappa.
think of him. Yeah,
Wait, is this like
that's actually very accurate.
is
Yes.
this the dude from is this a Stan or is this like the dude from
Yeah, built like a humanoid
Jiren's
this time.
partner, the orange dude with the
Oh,
mustache?
Topo?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, jeez.
Topo without being built like
We
a
have the justice.
cannonball.
You will have my fist.
He does. God, I don't know where I've seen this from, but there was a
Ye-
comment
probably,
that said
yeah.
Topos just sounds like the Arby's announcer.
If there is an
Toast.
Arby's in that universe, you
We
know
have
that they have
such meat
Topo doing
for
commercials for
justice.
it, like
We have the
easily. Ugh.
Oh god, that's probably an actual ad in what is that, like 11th universe?
It's just
or something like that? I
glistening
can't remember what it
baldness.
was. It's like join the Justice Patrol. We have the Justice. Yeah.
Oh,
Jiren
yeah.
finally agreed to do a commercial, but it's for like hair gel, so it's just like you don't have hair. It's head wax.
So in other words, if you're
But-
not a
but
Frosty,
yes,
then you don't.
Hale has turned his attention towards Icer. He might not have the same familial love most people have, but he does still like have the respect there of like, okay, he is a Frosty.
Yeah,
and
so he kind of
deserves
he
deserves
kind of goes, he
attention.
kind of like
If he's
goes
about to
towards
say
like the
something.
edge of the room where there's kind of like a small little podium and stuff, and everyone's just like keeping their
If
eyes
he
on him,
wasn't
very
family,
quiet.
there would be no
and
caring. It would
he
just
just
be
kinda
like,
stands
I'm
like he
gonna
watches
continue
over
doing what
everyone
I'm doing
for a little
listening,
bit,
but
and then
he's
he goes,
turning his attention towards him. because
Welcome,
he-
all of you. I'm glad to see so many new faces, and he kind of glances around and looks at all the Majins that, like, other than their, like, different, like, little tufts at the top, they all look almost identical. But he's like, you see, he's like, when he says, looks similar, they're just a little sweat drop, because he's like, is that even the right thing to say here? Because they're all identical except for, like, the different hair, I guess. Yeah. Yeah, but he's
All
like
the
he's
new
like
faces.
lots of you are new to this type of work. Some of you have prior experiences in law enforcement. Some of you just
Oh,
are
there's-
here
yeah.
for
the hair
fun,
color. It's just like the
which
fucking.
well,
What
this
is it,
isn't the
nerds?
first thing. I
A
hope
box of
that
nerds
whatever
drop on
you
the
get
floor.
out of this, you can find enjoyment in. And as he says that again, he's glancing at each of the Majins because he's like, that's what they're here for, fun, but this really isn't fun. This is police work, but okay. And he says, all of you will go through a rudimentary training exercise. He points over at the orange man next to him. He will all give you a number, and as he says that, the guy pulls out from seemingly out of nowhere a fishbowl with a bunch of sheets of paper in it, and he's like, he's like you guys will all be given numbers, and he will put you all up into groups of 3, and he kind of takes a brief breath. However, there's one group of you that's already been set up, so if you 3 can please stand to the back of the room and let everyone else draw their team first.
Interesting.
And he looks around, and he notices you 3. He spots each of you. I don't know if you guys are all standing next to each other or what, so he kind of looks around the room to find where you guys are, and his eyes make contact with each of you 3 as he says this. Everyone else, feel free to draw lots. After which, you guys will go through. You will guys be given teams and a mentor, and you will go and you will undergo a very basic training regimen just to get a rough idea of your capabilities, to see roughly where you stand. And once we better understand, you may end up with a new mentor if the current mentor is not up to snuff with your capabilities. He kind of looks around and looks at you 3, and for those of you that have already partaken in this, you will also be given a new mentor, as your prior mentor is otherwise occupied and can't commit fully to your group full time. And Riku, you would know this. Like with training with Piccolo, lots of times he would just make like his clones to fight with you, and then he would go off and do who knows what, and you would just spar with like Piccolo clones, but he was very rarely actually there, and so you have a feeling that yeah, so you know that he's probably like one person training with a bunch of things is probably not bad, but like if he were to properly train like all 3 of you, you'd probably have to split himself up into more than 3.
Man, you got Dr.
Or,
Manhattan.
well, 3
Bro's just
like
Naruto
specialized
on
ones. Like
board.
it's
got
not like the
Dr.
actual thing where he's
Manhattan.
dividing himself fully in 3, but like he has enough control. Yeah, he has enough control over that. Yeah, well, Piccolo. That's what I'm saying. Piccolo has enough control over the multiform technique that he can make 3 clones of him, but make them like really weak and still keep majority of it. But like,
Yeah.
if he were
and,
to do that and do
Piccolo
enough for each
doesn't
of you,
really hold back.
it might be
Yeah.
harder
You
for
could make
him
100
because
of
like, it
him
might
and
not be
probably
that
still
much
want
power he's
less.
losing, but
Yeah. There's like
also the farther away you go. Yeah, and the farther away you go, the more concentration it takes. And Piccolo he can do a lot, but if he's on another planet and he's trying to maintain like 12 duplicates, he's not going to be able to do that. 3, maybe. Any more than that might be a stretch. So,
It's still the strain of
yeah.
control
So
and-
you can tell he's addressing you guys specifically. He's basically saying, "Go wait in the back. We'll deal with you once everyone else goes and gets
Piccolo
their
is the king of
numbers."
content.
Yeah,
And
we know.
Yeah,
We
we
got
get it.
Yeah, and then so everyone goes up
Yeah.
and they
Yeah,
start
you got it, you got
starts
it.
pulling numbers, and then as they're pulling numbers, the guy starts shouting out, "Group 1," and he points over to like one area. "Group 2," he points over to another area, and as he says this, you start
Hale
seeing like one,
literally
and then
doesn't
2
move
people
'cause
start
he's already
splitting
at the
up
back
into
of
the
the
areas that
room.
he's pointing at, and then you see group 3, group 4, so on and so forth, all the way up to group 10, and he's pointing, and you see they split up into groups of 3. And then he walks up to group 1, hands them a sheet of paper, tells them, you can't really tell what he's saying, but he just kind of like points, and then they walk away. And then he goes around to each of the groups, hands them a sheet of paper. They walk away. And as this is all going on, Icer's like, "We will reconvene tomorrow morning with the results of your assessment, and we will do any adjustments needed, and then your proper training will begin promptly." And then as everyone leaves and it's just you three in the room, he gets down from his podium, walks over to you, and you see he's got the biggest smile on his face as he walks up. So he's like, he looks straight at you, Hale. So, how was your training yesterday? He's like, yeah. So, he's still looking at you with the widest thing. He's like, still having a hard time accessing your second form, huh? And you can see he's got the biggest smile, like shit-eating grin on his face because he knows what you knows.
Fair enough.
Because remember, he's like, if you were to do that, that would save me. It would cause me a lot of paperwork, but also probably save me a lot of paperwork too. Oh, but then I'd also have to organize your funeral though too. And oh yeah, no, that would not be good. Then after
Hale just looks him dead in the eyes and says, I could go full form and just blow up the base, but I'm trying not to.
he
Yes.
I
Yes, you
I-
have a couple guests that would not be very happy.
he
with
looks
that.
over
I
at
would prefer
the
not to die today.
the man that's
That would be
also sitting next to you,
preferable.
he's kind of been looking you over and
I
pretty
would
silent.
prefer not to
And he's
die.
like,
Hale's basically got that
He's like-
don't talk
Icer
to me
kinda
before
like,
my coffee.
all right.
Like thing
all
going
things
on right
aside,
now. He's
he
just
looks
like,
over.
I
He looks over at
really don't want to
the old
discuss
orange man.
this.
He's like, "Go get them. They're probably impatient. We don't want Tilla pressing a hole in the place." And the guy kind of nods, and he walks away, and it's kind of like awkward silence for a little while, and as he's talking, you see coming from, I'll just put these guys here, I guess. Woo. Three people, and now I'm gonna have to update their tokens. Damn it! You should remember two of them. Yep. And you, first thing you notice is the Namekian, and then a Majin, which
Oh my
most
God,
of the
I
Majins
recognize
that you've
two of
seen
these.
in the place
Do we get our
were
own
like the
mentor?
pink skinned
Hell
Majins. There were only a
yes.
few,
Oh,
so
I
you're
remember
like,
this
okay, this
person.
one's a different one,
I remember,
Oh,
yeah, I
slightly
remember
different
the
because
Namekian
they're,
in the
A
Majin.
Majin.
different
yeah.
color.
Oh man.
And you'll also notice something else that you notice. Yeah, the other thing that you notice is that the white-haired female has a swishing brown tail.
Yeah.
Swishing back and forth, and you can see as she's getting furry, it's just wiggling back and forth. You can tell she is
Oh,
very
man,
happy
that's
for some
fucking
reason.
rad.
You're not really sure why, but she's just very happy. You'll find
Interesting.
out soon enough. Let's just say that. But yeah, and they all three of them walk up to you, and immediately Tilla
He gives
walks
me
up to
Gohan
you,
descendant
Hale,
vibes.
and says, "Oh, so you're the cousin that's really
I
strong,
think
huh?"
it's the eyes.
Interesting.
Want to fight? And then the Namekian's like, "Tilla, not now." But I want to fight him.
That is I.
He,
yes.
Icer notices you. Actually, do I have a? I don't have a character sheet for Icer, but
He
I
literally
do,
has
but
a bit
not
of a
on-
smile
yeah, so
on
I'm
his
just going to
face
take
as
my
he looks
actual
up at
roll
Icer and
20,
he's like,
my D20,
Man,
and
you
roll
were really
quick
recruiting anyone,
insight,
aren't
see if you
you?
can understand. Oh,
He doesn't
yeah,
say that, but he's just giving him the look
you
of,
guys
like,
have been apart
really?
for so long
Okay.
that like he's still like he knows you, but like he doesn't fully know what your eyes mean when you don't say anything. So he doesn't really seem to like he knows you're trying to say something, but you can tell he's very confused and he wants to say something, but he's afraid to ask. Yes and no. This is Icer saying this. He's like, due to your special circumstances and
Yeah.
due to some of you guys' unique heritage,
So,
we
each of us getting our own mentors.
might need an extra
given
set of
our
eyes on you
special
guys.
Circumstance.
Most of the time, when on missions, you will be accompanied by just one of these, but your training will most of the time pertain to the three of these guys. These three are the highest of our of grade 1, which every patroller there's 10 grades. So grade 1 is the lowest grade, obviously. So these guys are the strongest of that grade, and there's various levels of strength going on. Garlock, you would obviously know this because you've been around and you know quite a bit. And Riku, you would know a little bit of that. Piccolo doesn't go too much into business talk, but you at least gathered that, like, yeah. Yeah, so Piccolo would have tried to explain it, but he doesn't explain it
I've been
enough
part
to
of
where
People would know the basics, yeah.
it's one of those things where it's like he barely talks about it enough
Oh, no,
to where it really
I
seems
didn't
to
pay
matter. He's like, it's
I
like
was
once
focused
every
on-
month he'll be
I was
like,
focused on
he'll just
shooting things.
briefly say, oh yeah, the tier 3 people went on this mission. And then next month, yeah, and there's this other dude on the tier 2, yeah, it's just like very casually, just like tells like stories, or like when he's training you, he's like, you need to do this. Unlike this guy on tier 2 that went this mission and did this, he got beat up, and Riku's like sitting there with like a bloody mouth, a swollen eye, but like, yeah, Piccolo, sure.
Oh, that's so boring.
I don't care. I'm bleeding eternally all over.
Back in my day.
Yeah, you're like, yep. You're sitting there with like a broken arm, being faced.
Or-
Yeah, Piccolo.
yeah,
when are we
I-
going
I-
on to round
yeah.
2?
Yeah, no,
Cool
Riku.
story, bro.
Riku don't
Nah,
care.
no,
He's
we
just-
all know
he-
Riku would be the
he
type that
wants
would
to
want to go for
focus
round 2
on,
without a sensu bean. He'd want to see how far he can go
exploring
without
the
it,
Undelved and figuring out more
which has
about his
probably been a bad thing
Yeah.
on multiple occasions. And Piccolo's probably been like, oh god, oh god, oh god, I went too far. He's dead.
Yeah,
Oh god, he's
Can
alive.
I have sensu bean, please?
and you probably have heard the stories about how the bean has also been the folly to a couple of
we don't waste
instances
those.
where someone
We don't
Piccolo
waste those.
specifically didn't
Riku-
mention any
Riku
names, but he
stops
said there
at
have
a
been
sensu
times
bean.
when we've
He's
been in a
like, I heard
fight
you
and
guys get carried
someone
by that
decides to
bean
give the
before, that
enemy a
would not
sensu
be
bean.
me.
So you're probably like, the
I don't
more
need
distance
no
away I am
jelly
from the better,
bean.
because we don't need anything like that to happen.
Yeah, one story I definitely heard of.
Oh,
that,
definitely.
Riku hates Vegeta. By the way,
Ooh.
he hates him, but doesn't hate him. He's just like,
Oh
you're
yeah,
fucking
if you mention
letting
Vegeta around
cell
Piccolo,
just
you're
find
going to be
him.
getting like a
That's the
3-hour
only
rant if you
story I
mention
know.
Vegeta around
And,
Piccolo.
and Riku is built.
Piccolo is probably the one that's like, he's a fucking idiot.
I mean, Piccolo,
Exactly.
I think Piccolo would still trash talk Goku a little bit, but I definitely think he went off on Vegeta a
Yep,
lot.
and Riku's whole like
And that's
his-
definitely the way Piccolo
his
would
whole
be,
doctrine
especially
now,
nowadays,
like,
because
like
Piccolo
being,
knows
like,
the extent of
an
what's really
enforcer
going
of
on, so
justice,
he
his
knows a lot
safety
more
is,
that he lets
he
on.
is
And you can
about
clearly tell
efficient
that like
justice.
there's something behind
Whatever
what he's doing.
saves,
Like he's not just
the
training you
most
just for the sake of
people
training
and
you.
kills
know
the
there's
enemy the
something, but you've
fastest.
never been able to
This is how
get him
Piccolo
to
trained.
talk about it.
Oh, yeah.
I fully. Yeah. I.
Yeah,
Nor
I
do I
fully
want
imagine that Cooler isn't as
He was
bad
mind
about
to- yeah,
it
and the
as,
thing-
as Frieza
Cooler
would be.
is definitely
Frieza would
the
be
type
shit-talking
where like
constantly.
he will
Cooler
acknowledge
probably just
strength
holds a
where it
grudge of,
is,
like,
but he
I
will
hated
still
my
like
ass.
be
My
mad
brother hated
at
me.
the person,
He
but he's
kicked
not going to
my
be like,
ass.
oh yeah, that
We
weakling.
don't
Like no,
like
if
the
you
Saiyans.
if he
Why do I
knows
like
that
the
that
Saiyans?
person is
They
stronger than
killed
him, he
Frieza. I
will
thought you
acknowledge
hated
it,
Frieza. I
and he will.
did,
He's
but
not
he
going to
was
be the type. He's
mine.
not like Frieza to like,
He was
oh,
my
you say
friend.
you're so strong,
what are
but
your-
I'm always stronger. Yeah, and he acknowledges strengths where he sees it. He's not going to, if you do something that shows that you're stronger. He's not gonna be like, well, that was just a trick. I'm really stronger. Like, no, if you can get the upper hand on Cooler, Cooler will acknowledge, okay,
The
you're
weak
strong.
die and the strong survive. That's basically his whole thing. The weak die and the strong survive.
Right. All right, so the female Saiyan looking one steps up and gets up right into your face, Garlock. She's like, I'm Tilla.
So what are all your guys' names?
Hi, Garlock.
What
Is
exactly
that supposed to be a type of food? Apparently, my dad named me
Okay,
after
hi.
tortilla. I don't
Nice to
know
meet you,
why.
Tilla. The
My
name's
mom
Garlock.
didn't like. My mom didn't like him being that. But he said, that's the way it's supposed to be, and
I don't
something
know,
like
man.
that.
It's
It's just my name.
names. Or interesting.
You see her like her pondering, like you can see the ellipses coming out of her head, like she's like trying to like, what does he mean by that?
I mean, I'm named
Yeah,
after
that's what she's
garlic,
trying to
so
figure out.
I don't think that would taste the best, garlic and like tortillas. So
Then the Namekian comes up and he's like, "That's enough, Tilla," and then pulls her back a couple of feet, steps forward. My name is Veal, and this over here, and
Saying flirting.
the blue Majin steps forward. This is Bubbles.
You want to combine our foods?
Hi.
no.
You remember a dream that you had where you were fighting alongside someone named Bubbles, and you have major deja vu for some reason.
Remember, Bubbles.
Oh man, Bubbles.
Deja vu. Ah.
Have we met before here? No.
What's up?
Good. He gets a little bit of a smile.
Yeah, it would. He nods. What's
So
up?
none of them seem to be hiding their key. I actually
What's
I
up?
forgot to calculate the actual power levels, but
I don't need an
definitely the
exact calculation, but
Namekian by
using my
a
scouter,
wide
which
margin.
one of these- Which one out of the three seems like it
Like
has
not
the
not
highest power
not
level?
not a
Or
second
is
place
one
would
trying to hide
actually
their
probably be Tilla, the Saiyan. Yeah, you're actually getting like very low power level
don't have to
readings from
calculate
the
it,
Majin, which
so
is but like not enough to where you think she's suppressing because
Okay,
like in comparison, like it's still like they're still like
Second place?
comparably strong to each other. It's not like Goku. It's not like Saiyan Saga
Really?
Goku and you've got Dragon Ball. Yeah, it's nothing like they're still within like a couple hundreds of each other, but you can clearly tell that the Majin seems the weakest, but like almost too weak. And at first you think maybe she's suppressing, but your scouter actually like is like it gives you the reading,
Yeah,
but then
McSoft
it kind of
McVitia,
gives you like an
yeah.
error message, and then gives you the reading again, and then gives you an error message, and then gives you the reading again. It's very weird. Veal kind of looks at you, and with this most deadpan face, he says, "And if you don't, you'll be left behind."
Well, nice to meet you all then. Hopefully that we can at least become a great team and I guess get our grades up.
And then as you guys are all getting to know each other, Icer is just kind of like, "All right, well, I'm going to let you guys
Okay.
get
Like
acquainted.
this Namekian,
Veal,
he has a good
you've
work ethic.
got this." You
I'm
guys, he
probably
just kind of
gonna
looks
be training with
for the
someone
first time.
else.
He gives a little smile. Yeah, I think I
Good to
got
meet
this.
you, Vio.
And then Icer is like, "Cool. So I'm just gonna go. Got a lot of important stuff to do. Paperwork and all of that." And then Icer just like super speeds out of the room, leaving a dust cloud as he just like books it. And then Veal turns around and he looks at you, and he looks at the three of you and like, "All right, they don't want me telling you this, but I'm going to be upfront. The reason why they gave us 3 of us is because he points at Garlock. He thinks that you need someone to babysit
really
you
doesn't
because you
like
can't
me.
control your full
The
power.
encounter.
And then he points at Hale, and you need a babysitter because, well, he doesn't want you killing everyone. So they gave us the 3 of us. So that's why they gave us the 3 of us to be proper trainers for you. And he looks over at you, Garlock, and he's like, don't worry, you'll probably be training with
That
Tilda
is
the
a good
most.
plan.
From what I
respect
know,
he
your
still has
guys'
that much
powers
respect for me.
are similar but
I
different.
appreciate he still has that much respect for me.
And she like looks. She's like, yeah, I heard you can go into that ape form. I have my tail, but I look at a moon and nothing happens. It's really weird. Oh yeah. Yeah, my mom's an alien, but my dad is a full-blooded Saiyan. No. Gohan's a
Are you
half Saiyan,
hybrid,
so
or- Interesting.
why do you think she has white hair? No, I'm kidding.
Interesting.
You'll find out
That's a
eventually.
full-blooded Saiyan. Gohan, how are you cheating out here? There are no.
But,
my
yeah,
god!
and then
is she Broly's
Theo
kid?
kind of looks over at Hale and Riku, and he kind of like he's like,
oh my god,
when it
that
comes
would
to
be
you two, I'm
fucking
not sure which one will be the better teacher
my
between
God,
Bubbles and
Broly
I. So
and
we'll take
Sheila.
turns.
No.
We
Oh,
all
God.
have our
The cheeks be
own
getting
different
clapped.
areas of expertise. Tilla here is the front line. You know, she punches things and she punches things good, and that's about all she's good for. Hey, what you are? I said you're good at it. Well, that's true. Thank you. And Bubbles over here is let's just say she's very prodigious in the mystic arts.
Oh my god.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I myself
wouldn't
know a
be
little bit of
training.
magic, but she was actually one of my first apprentices, and I taught her, but her magical abilities skyrocket far beyond my capabilities to teach.
Riku, his head kind of like cocks to the side.
What?
You mean magic? Hmm. Yeah, I've been looking to delve into the mystic arts for a very long time. Piccolo
He's like,
never
all
really
right,
let me
well,
get into that stuff.
we're well aware that you
They're
guys
more
have gone
focused on
through
key training.
a decent
You
amount of
kinda like just
training,
scramble
both
under, so
prior
to
to this and yesterday with Mr. Piccolo.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind working with you both. And he just crosses his arms and
But
shrugs.
this line of work, it's more than just, you know, fighting and fighting. It's more than that. And while lots of times on these missions, you will end up having to solve the issue
Wouldn't
by
leave me
going
if I told you.
hand to hand with someone. There are times when you might have to. It might be a rescue mission. It might be an espionage. It's not always just get in the face of the biggest guy there and punch him till he can't get back up. Sometimes subtlety and things are there, and that is where our specialties lie to a certain extent. Our team, while we have the means for being quite the frontline force, we also have various ways of being able to partake in other types of missions, and that is what we're going to be training you in. So, while some of our trainings will be the very typical forms of training, especially trying to master your powers that he kind of glances over at Hale and Garlock, master the powers that you have innately and enhancing the ones that you are learning, as he says that, he looks at Riku. We'll also have special mock missions that we'll be putting you through, where the goal will be not necessarily full-on frontal force, but there will be other means of ways to complete the mission, and that will be where a good portion of our training will come from. but before you can do that, and he glances over at Bubbles, and Bubbles like, oh yeah, and then she waves her hand, and like 10-foot stack of books appears in her arms, and she lifts her hand, and it splits up into 3 different stacks, and each stack into, so it's like a 10-foot stack of books, and it splits it evenly into 3 and lands in front of each of you. First, you gotta study.
Hale has no complaints on his face.
Oh,
As you
no.
say that, Veal looks at you. This isn't intergalactic law. This is just a law on planet Earth.
Okay.
Yep, Hale has no complaints on his face.
Being like,
He's like, they've added a lot of new laws in recent years. You know, once Gohan wrote that book and everyone knew how to use ki, they had to change quite a bit
Oh
of
god,
laws
and
around
it's
this
this
place.
big. Ah.
Oh good, I've been meaning to catch up on my reading. Father's very strict about it.
Yeah. And you also have to know the law to tell when someone
Right.
else is breaking it, so that way
Hale's
you can
already got one
bring down
open
the
and is
hammer of
just
justice
flipping
on
through
them.
it.
Or
Yeah, Hale has done this shit in the past. Like, you gotta know how to break the law.
PTO.
properly.
It's just,
So that means you have to know the law first. Yes.
Definitely. But yeah, definitely Cooler would have wanted you to Cooler definitely would have wanted you to know at least the basics. That way you can spot when people are
PTO, the
not-
PTO.
you know,
Yeah,
not
the
listening to the law,
OPM,
but
that
also,
was a
you
very
know, so
different
that
company.
way, if need be, you can break the law
laws within the
properly and
PTO
get
are
away with
probably
it.
a little different than within
You
the
just
Galactic
border the
Patrol's
line of breaking the
area.
law.
Same bases.
Yeah, like someone
Yeah.
so someone tries to. Yeah, like you get charged with breaking and entering, and you're like, well, technically the door was wide open, so I
Yeah.
just walked in. So you're going to have to at least lower that to just trespassing. But I also got this
He
text
knows all
from
the
3 years ago saying that I
subcodes
can
that are
come
like
over
the,
to this
well,
person's place
technically, I didn't
anytime.
break this law
And they
because
haven't
I
said
wasn't riding
anything
a
differently
horse on a
since.
Tuesday.
So, is it
If
trespassing
you
if
look
I
at
have
the
their
law's
permission?
I codes.
Go, go.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, so Veal kind of looks at you and you're like, so we'll be going over this a little
That's-
bit first.
Sure, who
So
are
if
you,
you
a
guys don't
vampire?
mind, follow me. And they start walking
Yes.
away, heading down the
yeah,
opposite
Hale's
hallway that
already,
all
like,
the other groups
Deep
went
into
down, and
chapter
they
one
start
by
going
the
down
time
like a
they're-
different
they finish
hallway.
explaining the Garlock.
And he's like, come along. You can clearly tell that Veal is like the dad of the group. He's definitely the leader of these 3. And Alright, so you're holding the book with your tail and just using like one finger to turn the page.
yeah, he seems like the leader as well.
Yeah. Hale
Yeah, so you
gets up
guys-
and
you
continues
guys-
to
you
read
guys
his book
follow
as he
along?
follows
I'll follow.
Alright, so you guys follow along, and he
Yeah.
opens up
No.
a door and brings
Both
you into
hands
this what
behind
looks
his
like
back,
a
occasionally brings
typical
pant forward to
classroom
turn the
type
page.
thing. There's like a whiteboard type thing on one side. There's this strange metal device on top of the ceiling that's facing that direction. You assume it's probably some sort of like
yeah.
holograph projector
course.
type thing. You're not really
Yeah.
sure. There's probably about a dozen tables in here, so you have a feeling that maybe in certain times they might have more than one group studying the same thing at a time, but you probably can assume that, well, since everyone else is doing their physical test, your guys' basic tests or your book tests you guys get by yourself. And he sit you guys down. He kind of gets up to the table, and he notices, Hale, that you're still kind of reading, and he's like, if you wouldn't mind, please put the book away for now. He's like, before we properly do any training, similar to the physical training that you did yesterday to get a sense for
yeah.
your more physical
He, like,
aptitudes.
doesn't fold a
He
corner, but
snaps
just,
his finger
like,
and
takes out
Bubbles waves her hand and,
like a strip of
and
paper or
3 sheets
something
of
and
paper and a
sticks it
pencil
in there, sticks it up,
here
puts
in
it
the
into
with
his
3
robe.
pencils, appears in the air and floats towards you guys. We're gonna have you guys go over a basic test to see what you know and what you don't know. Yeah, and as you look over the paper, like the first couple of questions are all like history related questions. Then some of the other questions they get progressively more like less about history and more of like laws and stuff. And like some of the questions are like you have a question about like something relating to history, and then the question after this like due to the events of blah blah blah, what changes were made to this law. And it's like they're all multiple choice, so it's not like you have to come up with it off the top of your head. They're not that mean, but it's definitely the questions get harder and harder as you go. Yes. I would like, so for the first, I'm going to say first 4 questions, it's going to be a history check. Just one history check, yeah.
You want us to roll any sort of check for this, or? Okay, that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
So just
fun.
one history.
All right, you guys go first, cause I'm scared.
Oh wait, no. Okay, I'm re-rolling that because I'm still. I am
Whoa!
superstitious
Holy
about this
crap!
shit. I
Okay.
didn't have it set as Lord Hale.
You got it as a 12, but
Oh
Piccolo
my
beat
god.
it into him,
good thing
literally
you did
and
not take
figuratively.
Lord Hale, okay?
Yeah,
You're like,
Okay, so
I'm
just-
reading.
neutral.
12.
I think this. Yeah.
Oh
Oh
my
my god,
God.
Riku.
Holy. I mean.
Well, so this is for like
word
this
on
is the first
history.
couple of questions are more just
Yeah,
about
I
like
mean,
history
it
and
makes
stuff, but
sense.
very you can
Hale's
tell it's a
probably
lot of
just-
like Earth history and like wow,
No,
Hale,
Garlock
you do know a
not
bit.
Earth
Like
history.
all you really know is like the stuff
Garlock
pertaining
got
to
some
out of his
Goku,
usual
Vegeta,
domain.
and like in the
He's like,
interactions with Frieza. So anything
isn't-
prior to
PTO laws are so
well,
different
pretty
from
much like anything prior to probably like Saiyan Saga stuff. You would have you wouldn't know anything prior to that, and the only reason why you know somewhat of that stuff is because Vegeta was working for Frieza at that time, so like Frieza was probably
Who's
cooler
George
around that
Washington?
time. Like, god damn it, that Vegeta! There he goes, doing his own thing again. Ooh, one of these things is called Dragon Balls. Ooh, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
It's
Oh no.
like, oh god, here he goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, the first like 10 questions,
Brother, no.
he's just like, so yeah, back
Meanwhile,
about like
Riku's
1,000
just
years
over
ago,
there,
my
doesn't even have to
technically
look
dad
at the
but me,
Kessons.
Yeah,
punch,
he's just
punch,
like,
punch,
boom,
tried to
boom,
take over
boom.
the world,
Then
punch,
Garlock-
punch, then I
Fucking
died,
Halo.
punch, but
My
technically I
first day of
didn't
training
die, I
was literally
just put
Piccolo
into the
beating me with
Mafu
an
bar or whatever,
encyclopedia.
punch. I'm still like 1,000 years prior, or however old the original time that King Piccolo was around, whatever. But it's yeah, but it's like even more than that. Like some of these
Oh my
questions are
God,
like
Piccolo, shut
definitely
up.
like it's a bunch of like random
said this
history
like
things.
ten
But
I'm
yeah,
already dead.
you
I'm
know,
not even
it also
halfway
makes
to the
sense because
Saiyan
Riku
Saga.
is a human, so he probably would at least know a little bit of Earth history because he's a human.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is,
was
even
like
if I said
100
roll
or
with advantage, you'd get the exact same result because he rolled double nat 20s. So
Fail all
I
of
mean,
it.
you've only maybe stepped foot on like 3 planets and
he's
spent
lived
most of your
here
life
his
since you
entire
just
life.
popped into
He would make-
existence
he would know
on a
almost
spaceship.
everything.
So makes sense you wouldn't know anything.
Exactly.
And then like I said with Hale, it's like
Garlock's
you know
like,
a
I'm part of
decent
the
amount, but it's
Galactic
all
Patrol,
like
I
very
don't know this
specific
shit.
things for about specific people, whereas this is a lot more broad questions. So makes sense. First couple of questions go by.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Riku's
Just
able
like
to he's
some
like,
work
oh that's
over.
easy, that's
Yep,
easy.
Nothing.
Both Garlock and Harold are kind of like, But you guys think you get the questions right, but you're not 100% sure. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, you're able to feel like, okay, well, if you're like, well, okay, so if Goku can do this and all these Saiyans can get by with this, then that would mean that in this situation, then this should be okay. Like this would have, like you're kind of like
Yeah.
using what you know and like the way
12
things have
isn't
acted
bad.
to like
I'm at least getting
try and
them
like
right.
infer the past a little bit. So it's like,
That's 6. I'm struggling.
actually, you would know that. Yeah. Yeah, no, not actually no, but yeah, Yamcha did become the president for a little bit.
I'm a
I think
talker.
that name looks familiar. President Yamcha.
I mean, the prior
a
president
talker,
was a
not
dog,
not
and then the next, and whatever, and
Yeah.
and then he becomes,
Yamcha
and then he
became
takes over, and he's
president, like,
he's
prime
like,
minister of
well, I
Japan
might
at
not
one
be an
point.
animal, but I know Wolf Fang Fist. If that counts, and everyone's like, good enough for me.
Nice.
That's why I'm looking.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what
Good
type
Well,
of skill contest I'd want
that
that
was
to
an
be,
interest-
because these ones would be a little bit more not necessarily
Yeah, the
history related, so
king.
it might
The
just be
king was a
straight.
dog.
Yeah.
Ooh, actually, religion might actually be. Yeah, actually, I could see religion could be.
What's the next
Yes, that might be
question?
one of the more later
Yeah.
ones. So this one might be. Ooh,
Religion?
maybe.
What? Religion?
Insight.
I don't know.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I might just say it's a straight, just
I feel
plain
like
intelligence
definitely
check
after
at this
Goku
point,
and
because
Vegeta,
it's like
religion would
it's not
be
really. There's
important.
really no skill associated with what I'm thinking. It's more
Insight.
like laws. Like these are more like laws and like things that like things that have like think like how like in our world we have like like prohibition and slavery and things like that. It's like things related to that, but like not
Oh,
necessarily tied to
God, it is.
historical moments. Like these are like
What is
independent
it?
things. The next questions would probably be more history because
What's
then
the
it's
question?
taking historical moments and then changing the laws because of that. But these ones it's just like what what is amendment number blank? It's like so I guess maybe would that still be history? Yeah, I guess insight, yeah, especially if it's laws, it does make sense to hail but know a little bit since
my
he's
vote
like
would
he
be
is
insight.
the child of a politician in a way. Like Cooler's
just wanna
essentially a
use that
politician.
big-ass, modifier, don't you?
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
sure.
my plus
That's
6.
good enough for
I
me.
like that. It also does make decent
That's,
sense.
yeah, somehow it's king still. That plus
Yeah.
8. Oh yeah.
So just all of us full in insight. Okay.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, you were
I'm
a
still gonna
cop.
roll a natural 1, but
God dang!
Yeah, like one of the questions.
Garlock's like,
one of the questions are, what
"But-
are the Miranda
but
rights? And
punch."
Riku's like,
But
I've got that. He's like, I've got this in the back of my head.
So I definitely know the law.
time.
yeah, Riku has the riot act like read into his soul. Meanwhile, Hale just knows it because he's like, oh, yep.
Yes, yeah.
What?
So pretty
What?
much, I mean, for Hale, the laws you're able to infer based off of laws of other planets that
I got
you
that
know
memorized.
that are a little bit more lawless. You're kind of like,
Time-breaking is
okay, well,
against the
from what I
Galactic
know,
Patrol?
Earth
But
is a little bit
why?
more civilized, so probably not option A or B. So
Dude,
it's definitely
so
gotta be,
cool.
C or D, and C just doesn't make any sense. It's gotta be option D. Like you're able to take your prior knowledge of other planets in the cosmos and be like, well, it can't be this or this because humans are at least somewhat civilized. Like. Yeah, exactly. Under Cooler's reign, it's the law. and then, but it's one of those questions that you're like, it's not like itching at the back of your head, like, did I get that right? Yes, I totally got that right.
Yeah.
Did
he
I?
gets the majority of the questions right, but
It's
the
like
one he
you're
gets wrong
super
is like,
confident.
What is the punishment?
Like you're
for
super
breaking
confident
this
on
law?
like
It's
because this
death.
section it's 8 questions. The first couple questions was only 4, and now this section
Jaywalking
is 8.
death.
You feel like you probably got a good 7 of them right, but there's like this one where you're like, oh, but did I get it right? Did I?
Yeah.
The answer is pineapple. Bonk.
Yeah, and then again for Riku, this is just like was every day for you. Cause like you've also went through the police academy, so you kind of know like what to expect with these questions. It's
Yeah.
probably similar.
The funny thing is, we're having a repeat of both Goku and Boo at the.
But like
Universe
Riku is
6.
like
We're
you
just
have
like,
an
"Oh,
idea that
God.
like this
Good
test
an
probably isn't
exam."
much different than the tests you have to like some of the practice tests that you would do when you're trying to become a cop. So it's like a lot of these things I think you probably have already
I'm gonna
answered
have to
before
make a
on
new
tests
character
prior, so you know the
after this.
answer
Garlock
because
didn't
the
pass
ones you got
written
wrong you
exam.
studied
He's
and then
out.
got right, so you already know the answer. Like and the ones that you don't know, you're able to pretty easily like process of elimination because it is multiple choice. It's pretty easy with your background and what you know to do it. I get next one will be another history
Yeah.
check. There we go.
Infer.
Yeah, that
Yep.
it all equals out.
You guys
Okay.
go first. Watch me bomb this again. Alright, nice, nice hair.
Galactic
Yeah.
history.
Oh.
I don't know shit.
Yeah.
Well, so
Hey, I
Hey!
got one!
Well, so a
The
lot of
the
these,
aliens
a lot
know
of these
galactic
questions start
history and the
pertaining to
Earthling
like
doesn't.
starts
I don't.
pertaining to like
I
these are
don't.
more related to like more modernish stuff, like stuff with
It's
like,
like, oh my
after
God,
the
we
Saiyans
can leave the
arrival, blah
planet?
blah blah. It starts talking about like
Exactly.
aliens and
There's,
like
like,
and
moon
all these other
landings
things and
now.
like
Bro,
also
I
like
have
with
one
now
moon
now that
landing.
the use of
We have a
key and like a bunch of other
That's
things,
smart.
but like a lot of it has to do with like aliens being a thing now and like. You know, and like some of the more newer ones are like laws pertaining to like safe
Yeah.
housing aliens. You're like, wait, there's and Riku's like, wait, there's aliens on Earth? Oh wait, yeah, Piccolo's an alien. Crap.
Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Well, no, exactly. But yeah, that's where a lot of these questions are. It starts pertaining to a lot more like more like it's still Earth related, not necessarily galactic, but like what do we
I thought
do
he
when
was
we
a
encounter an
demon.
alien? What are the
No,
proper
Slug.
Well,
protocols for like if an
I
alien
finally
spaceship lands on
understand
Earth and an alien
intergalactic- I know
appears saying,
this.
"Take me
This
to
is
your
my-
leader,"
my
what do
thing.
you do? Yeah, literally one of the questions:
I-
if an alien spacecraft crash lands
Okay.
and you approach it and it asks you, "Take me to your leader," what do you do? That's like legitimately one of the questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Like because they've had so many aliens and otherworldly things
otherworldly
happen
kind
here
of
that it's
stuff
like
as
they've
well,
had to
yeah.
change the laws to properly represent that, and things have gotten very crazy. Next
Yeah,
one would
yeah.
probably be
Relate.
this would be the last one, probably to keep it
No, okay.
even. Probably just go another insight. That way it's 2 history, 2 insight. No, I think for this one I'll still stick with insight. I just think it's fair to keep it 2 and 2.
So what's the next question?
Of course, King is rolling good. Makes sense.
Or like religion? I don't know. No worries. Makes sense. Makes sense. I'll use this religion someday. My only intelligent
No,
proficiency
did you
skill.
say something in the chat?
Yeah, go. You try now, Lord Hale.
Oh, it was you that posted something. Okay.
I'm not going to do New Wool. I'm terrified. He's just standing there menacingly.
Maybe. Oh yeah, because he just popped off
No.
of roll 20, so maybe.
Hale, you there? No, that was me. Yeah, that was a meme. You know what? I'll roll while he's
Well,
not here.
luckily this isn't like your
so.
like final exam. This is just
Oh, I
to
think it's
test
Wi-Fi
like
I'm gonna
what
cut.
you know and who
Oh,
needs
no.
more tutelage. So this is just essentially
Uh,
saying that they're gonna have to spend
Oh,
a
God,
lot of
yeah.
extra time
So there-
training you
I
the
got
laws,
one
and
right
you're
out
gonna
of all
definitely
three.
need some tutoring and a lot of extra work.
Garlock's a minus free.
Huh? Hello, hello. Oh,
Who
yeah,
needs
that's what we
that?
thought because like
No,
you
no
weren't
one-
saying
no
stuff
one
and we
needs-
saw
I
you
don't need
pop off of
tutoring.
roll 20 like, oh, yep, his Wi-Fi probably cut out.
You there, Hale? Did your Wi-Fi die?
Hello.
Hello, are you good, fam?
My router died for a
No!
second.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I was saying, I don't know where
One-
it cut me
one-
off, but I was basically saying that,
One last
Hale
insight check.
definitely was like flying through these questions and then just had pause at one of them that like mentions Uncle Frieza as like a threat to the human race, and it's like, that's been a while, guys. You need to update this.
Let's see. Do you pass the insight check, Mr. Kenobi?
Oh, I have to roll.
For,
an
for the
insight
last
check.
bit
Yeah.
of the quiz. Yeah,
I'm
not
I
doing
decided
so
instead of
good,
doing
man.
religion, I stuck it with
Oh,
insight
I
just to
ain't
keep
doing
it
so
2 and
good.
2, so it's fair.
Insight.
Probably.
Everybody else is so much smarter than Garlock. Yep, it's how it goes.
What was this insight check for?
Let's.
But yeah,
final
so
question,
you
final
guys
question.
Five minute?
you
Okay.
guys go through, you guys do your tests, and you hand back the things,
Gotcha.
and
I'll
it probably
use my
only
fucking
takes them like
religion
10
one
minutes
day.
to go over.
One day.
One minute. He's a
So
Christian.
okay, I'm just gonna do.
Garlock,
So I said it was 4
just
then
like,
8.
I know the
So 4 and 8
divines.
is 12. So it'll probably say
Praise
is
be
another 18
coming.
questions after. So 30 questions. I'm just gonna do some math and find out what 25% of 30 is. No. Wait, no, would it be? Well, anyway, yeah, I'm not going to do any math, but I'm just going to say, yeah. Yeah, and then times that by 3.3 because it's out of 100, so it'd be like, so like under 25%.
I fucking bombed.
Yeah, it'd be under
I mean,
25%,
I didn't
so-
pass. Omni, come on, man.
Yeah, definitely.
I would not have
It's like the difference between Hale and King. It's like
7.5.
King got like an A, and Hale got like a B or B plus. Like very only like a difference of like 10 points if you're going like an actual grade. So like only like at
King-
most a
King
10 point
definitely got
difference.
the best score
Garlock,
out of all of them.
you've got
Yeah,
got an
without a
F
doubt.
plus.
We very minimal. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, it's like if there was a grade that was lower than F, Garlock would have gotten
Yeah.
it.
Garlock got a
The
couple
main
Yeah.
difference was the
Exactly.
an
yeah,
F plus. Ooh.
Yeah. The main
Yeah, you
difference
got-
was
yeah.
he aced the
You got like
Earth
10 out of
history, and
30
I aced the
questions, like,
space
or
history.
at most 10 out of 30. Actually, no, that's probably even more because you had what? No, you got
I passed
He got a
one.
no, you would have gotten
participation.
because if you would have gotten like
I passed
7 out of 30,
one, okay?
exactly what you would have gotten 7 out of 30 because
It's not
you
my
got
fault that I can't
So,
be
yeah.
super bright. That's still okay. That's still okay.
No, he got like 3 questions right.
yeah. One of the questions there was
Yeah, I
just
would've
just
failed.
enough of a space between the question
I
above and the
would've-
question below that he
Uh,
wrote. He
Garlock,
put
we need to
another
talk
circle,
about this.
filled
One
it
of your
in,
answers
and
was
then
just
put
to draw the
smile.
smiley face.
Exactly.
He like put
that's
it in
what
like
you should do
make
when
your
an
your
alien
own
pops out,
answer.
just
It's like
give
it's
him
a
good
4
old
option thing,
smile.
but you filled in option E or whatever on a couple of them.
Just go up to.
He's like, well, Viola seems perplexed. He's like, normally in a situation
Definitely
like this, we
doodled.
would send one of you off for tutelage, but all the tutors are probably a little bit busy right
An
now,
option.
so
Rico
kind
get
of
out
looks
the
over.
newspaper
You can
and
see
what are we doing
he
next?
looks over at Bubbles. He's thinking. Looks over at Tilla. The instant his eyes make contact, you see her eyes sparkle and her tail starts wagging. Okay. Yeah, so you try to fly away, and as that happens, Bubbles turns and make a con save.
As soon as he averts his eyes,
Yeah.
I fly away. I leave.
And Hale is back to his book.
Okay, where are you going? You're in like a 30-foot room, so
even if I'm
I mean,
moving 120 feet.
Oh shit. Yeah. He's
Okay.
out. That's only 60 feet though.
Yeah, but it
Oh,
goes off
shit.
before you move.
yeah,
it's
but
funny.
also
He's
your
still
background is
good.
also a police officer.
He
You know
out.
that the
Yeah.
training procedures for going through like trainings and stuff too.
I just leave the room. because they're boring. They're boring. Riku, that's Riku's
They
personality.
they
like,
are
yeah.
proceeding because you didn't let me
Piccolo
finish.
is-
He was
is-
he was
he's the
going to tell
play
you what
into
they were
the
going to do
ringer
next. He
every
was just
day,
trying
so
to get
right
any
now,
insight
he's
from
just
anyone else
like-
if they had any ideas.
I mean,
Okay, well you're gone, so that you're.
Oh yeah, and he's,
They're
he's
probably they're
done.
not going
He
to
handed his
the old
test,
type of
and
person he is. He's not going
if
to go
we
after
aren't
you. So this next bit of
proceeding,
training
he's
is just going to be
leave and do
Hale and
his own thing.
Garlock. Then, like, like that's his person. He's not going to go after you.
Oh, okay. Well, he
Yeah,
starts
and
to
I was
fly
literally
away.
about to move forward, and then you went and
Yeah.
did that. So like, I don't know what to tell you now. Like, I don't know what to tell you. No, Piccolo's off planet. He's not here.
Well,
That's
that's just
why-
me,
that's why
me
Piccolo
as the
isn't
player
doing
trying
this.
To move forward with the session instead
yeah,
of
I feel
walking.
you. I feel you.
You're fine. Calm down. Calm
I was
down.
literally getting ready to tell you what we're doing next.
Piccolo just carries him back in, like, nope. You're
No,
staying.
that was Viol saying that.
Okay.
So
well,
again, as I was
one
saying,
really
he
short
looks
yard.
over at Tilla.
kinda
He makes
just,
eye
like,
contact with her, and you see
pop
her
back in,
tail
like,
start to
"Alright, are
wag,
we
and he's
moving
like,
forward, or are we just
"Ugh,
gonna sit here and talk
fine."
all day?"
He's
yeah,
like,
continue.
we're going to go
continue.
through a practical
Please, let's just
exam
continue.
next, but
Okay,
he
okay.
but as he says,
Um,
but Tilla kind of like tail
what if
kind of droops a little bit. This one won't be a typical fight. This will be an exercise in. Well, we'll explain it when we get there. And he heads to the door, kind of gives you like a side eye glance. I'm assuming you're just standing in the door, Riku. He kind of like gives you like a side eye glance. He's like kind of like he's like the glance kind of says like, I get it. Like he understands your eagerness, and he doesn't say anything. He just kind of gives you that side eye nod, and then walks straight past you, and then everyone else and Bubbles and Tilla follow very close behind. And Vio seems to respect that, but he respects it, but you can tell that like he's kind of irritated, but he also respects that like he respects your eagerness, but he's like, we're trying to train you here, calm down. But he respects that you want to get going.
Cool. I did. Riku does not have time for games.
So as you guys are walking, Vio kind of like as I said earlier, not every mission you're going to go on is going to be simply to take out this person or whatever. It's a lot more delicate.
Hale is deep into
than
chapter
that.
3 of the
In a
first
lot of
book, by the way.
situations, we do end
what
up having
exactly
to
is this
solve
combat going to be
our
about?
issues with violence, but a good portion of the time it only gets to that point because of failure at some other point in the mission. So for this mission, and you're all talking, you guys have kind of moved around and got down to the other hallway, and you go to a training room. As you can see that there's like all the training rooms seem to be like mostly full, at least in this hallway, because as I said, it's like 3 or 4 floors worth of just training rooms. But like this hallway, like a lot of them are full, and you can see a lot of them are going through not necessarily as tough of a fight as you guys were going through, but you see like the same robot, and a couple of them there's like 2 or 3, but none of them are fighting the giant versions that you guys fought. No, it doesn't. Yeah, I mean, you asked for it, so he did exactly what you asked for. But he ends up bringing you to the end, and he steps in. You see he's kind of like pondering for a second as he's trying to think of like what type of mission to put you through. He's like, all right.
Piccolo just
Okay.
went fucking
He's
crazy.
like, he kind of looks at you. And he's like, Riku, I know that you probably know of this, but he looks over at
Yeah,
Hale
I know.
and Garlock. Have either of you two heard of Capture the Flag? Capture the Flag. Yeah, do you guys know it?
Hale has flashbacks to all of his training, none of which was any sort of game.
Hmm.
The flag. I
Yeah,
mean,
fair. Yeah, so you would know a
Hale
little
has
bit. Like you would know a little bit.
flashbacks to
So
all
he
of his training, none of which
and then
was any
Riku
sort
probably.
of game.
I imagine
Yeah, I
Riku.
don't-
As he
It's
says that,
just
Riku
like-
probably just rolls his
No.
eyes,
Garlock
but nods.
might, but that would only be because he probably hung around like a
He's
bunch
like, well,
of Majins that would
so
just
this
be
will
like,
be an
"Go
actual
after
training
this,
measurement,
do
but this will take.
have
So
fun.
the game,
know?
it's typically a
Yeah.
game.
I
We're going
don't
to take
think I
elements of
know
that
the
and turn this
basics.
into
It'd
it.
just be like
This is going to be a
flat
rescue
chaos.
mission. There will be on either side of this map. There will be 3
Hale's just
goals.
like,
Probably.
No.
It is your job to protect your goals while also stealing the goal of your opponents. And he kind of like due to certain things, we will only have one of us will join on your side, and the rest of you will be fighting two of us. And now they're going to roll some rock, paper, scissors. And now I'm going to have to start rolling rock, paper, scissors. All right. And there they go. They do some rock, paper, scissors. And Viol kind of like, all right, I guess I'll be over here. It's between you and Bubbles now. And now it's going to be Bubbles and just Bubbles. Yeah, all right. So it looks like Bubbles will be on your guys' team. And I'm just gonna copy you guys, and I'll switch over to this. Yeah, like it'll be really good
We got the
here.
mage.
So
The
and then it'll
May.
be
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
these guys over here. And again, it's like the hologram
Honestly,
thing.
the
And
mage
as
is
it
probably-
goes,
the mage is
I'm
probably the
going
best
to,
choice for
let's see,
capture the
can
flag.
Sure,
person.
rectangle.
Exactly.
Boom. And boom. There. So those are the two. Those you guys can see that, right? Okay. Just want to make sure that I got to switch over here. Make sure it switches over. So it'll. All right. So that way it'll update on the stream because the stream's lagging behind a little bit, but yeah. But yeah, so that's where the. Oh, I do need to adjust one of them because it's a little bit smaller than the other one. Come on. There we go. Come on.
Running off of the information he's been given about what the task of this game is and what our party is like, Hale basically just starts delegating almost immediately. Even if he's not been declared like leader, he's basically just like, okay,
But yeah, running off of the information he's been given about what the task of this game is and what our party is like, Hale basically just starts delegating almost immediately. Even if he's not been declared like leader, he's basically just like, okay, Garlock,
That's good enough.
you
That's
handle her, I'll handle him. You back us up. He points to Bubbles like, you back us up. Riku, you're the fastest person here. He says with a bit of a grimace,
okay. Why
as he's just like,
the stream being so?
You
Well,
deal
no.
with
According to
it.
this, it's showing that it updated, so it might just
oh,
be
technically
my
I'm the
TV
fastest
is being
person,
slow.
but that's only if I'm dashing.
Anyway,
Yeah,
You can
Dashing is
dash
expensive.
no matter what.
yeah,
as
but
a
also
bonus
because I
action.
know my Wi-Fi
Yeah, I
is
was
being
like,
any
slower
dash,
than usual. My
anytime.
TV normally is kind
He's
of
the
slow, so
fastest.
it's just.
He's definitely.
But it looks like
that.
according to the OBS, it's fine. So
Yeah.
it's fine. But with that, you guys can move wherever you guys want. You can be.
Sometimes it does take
Um,
a little bit of time.
based on the audio, it's on the where Garlock made the religion.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh, good to know. Good to know in the future. That's actually not that bad. Anyway, you guys can move however you guys so choose.
Oh yeah, so based on the audio, it's on the where
You'll
Garlock
notice
made the
that
religion
that
joke.
if you guys go towards the mountain thing, so like even though it shows up on
So-
this, if you guys go towards the mountain area, it does kind of like it shifts around you, so that way it's not actually an obstacle. This is all hologram and stuff, and they've set it so that way the arena doesn't prohibit you because having a giant thing right there could be both advantageous and disadvantageous depending on how you guys do it. But this is set up where it's there for appearance, but like you can kind of see through it. If you go in, you can walk right through it. I realize this probably isn't the best map for what I'm trying to do, but it's like I wanted to use a cool map, so it's something different than the other one. So yeah, you guys can. So Bubbles is gonna actually probably go here. VL would tell you actually, because VL would tell you to stay within 30 feet of. Yeah, so Bubbles will be like right there. So you have to be at least within 30 feet of the edge of your
Yeah,
side. So, but
cool.
anywhere with either
Yeah.
you can be in your area or 30 feet out, but no farther than 30 feet out, just to where Bubbles and Riku are.
So that's as far away as we can be.
Yeah, from your thing. You can be closer to it if you want, or you can be right in it. Just can't go any further. It's just to ensure that like you're not like
How far is 30 feet out exactly?
Is that it makes sizing.
Okay.
yeah that
So that's as
Uh,
far away as we can be.
yeah.
I feel like it, like theoretically, all
Yeah, well, that's why that's why
I
when
think
when
that's-
I measure it out,
yeah,
I
that's
measure
probably
it
the best.
from the starting
Yeah.
from the
The
space
problem with
next to where
us
your
using
token
the
is,
larger
and then measure 30
tokens
feet is
is-
where you'll go instead of doing it
is that
from the
makes
token thing because
sizing very difficult
because then
because,
that
like, we're so
takes
big
away
that we
5
move
feet.
so
It takes
slow.
away 5. It takes away
Yeah,
5
and
feet
plus
when you do
I
it
feel
that
like
way,
it-
and then if
like,
so like yeah.
theoretically,
So, yeah,
all
so,
we
like,
can do is
basically,
move, like 30.
Where Bubbles and
Like,
Riku
move
is, that is
here.
the the
Yeah.
front line essentially. So, but basically either in line with them or behind them is where you can be. And you can be anywhere on the map
I need to
behind
get
them.
some
It's
speed.
just to ensure that like you're not too close to the center line of the area.
For obvious declaration purposes, I'm removing my
Makes sense.
Okay.
You're getting that weighted armor off.
Yeah.
As he
Okay.
finally, after all this time, closed the book, set it down, and wrap it up in his cloak.
Okay.
And for obvious declaration purposes, I'm
But yeah,
removing my cloak.
you see, and
You're
I'm gonna
getting
see
that-
what
that weighted armor
Veal- I'm gonna actually just
Yeah.
roll it and tell
As
you
he,
reveal to see if you would think
see
to
him
do something
finally after
prior
all this
to
time close the
everything or
book,
not.
set it down, and wrap it up in his.
Well,
cloak.
that's what I'm
need to get
saying.
some
So,
weighted
well,
armor.
first things first. Actually, let's go. Where's his perception to see if he notices you doing that?
Yeah, because it's like, in that case, it's like, I assume it's also like not, it wouldn't be hard to tell, like, somebody.
Yeah, I would say I'm not going to have
I mean, if
Hale.
we're taking off the cloak, go all out, man.
Unless Hale is trying to be
Yeah.
subtle about taking it
Yeah.
off, I'm going to say a 13 will probably be good enough because it's like weighted clothing probably makes a decent enough sound. So
Yeah, because it's
yeah,
like in
and
that case,
then,
it's like
let's just roll straight.
I assume it's
intelligence
also
to
like
see if
not.
he would.
It
Actually, probably
wouldn't
more
be hard
wisdom
to
would
tell,
make more
like
sense.
somebody
actually, probably
taking off a cloak.
okay,
That's
yeah, he
very,
doesn't. He's not gonna
you
do
know.
shit. He's not gonna do shit.
He notices it, but he doesn't feel the key in
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I-
like.
as I now have
I feel like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, he's dumb. He's dumb. Never mind. He doesn't care. He doesn't care.
Yeah, he notices it, but he doesn't feel the key in fucking explode. As I now have 24 dexterity.
yeah. Do you only have one stack of rated?
No, 2.
What? Oh shit! I need to get rated then.
Yeah. Actually, I have. Yeah, because it's 3 per. So
Yeah,
I have weight. I have heavyweight 2.
Yeah, I think the I understand like how the GM's doing this, right? But
Oh,
I
yeah.
think the hard cap is free because I it's like you add this thing that requires you to attune to armor. Why would you like go beyond that? That's insane, you know.
Yeah.
But free ranks of heavyweight, I think, make the most sense. Later down
Yeah,
the
I
line.
would have gone to 3, but that would have brought me
So,
down
Riku?
to 1 point in strength.
Oof.
So
Yeah,
4 is already very low.
yeah.
As anybody here who has key sense can probably feel power swell quite a bit.
Alrighty, and now
Yeah, Riku, you can probably feel it. You feel hail just like yesterday.
come on.
His
Gonna
power
play.
gets a lot more intense, as if usually when he's walking around, it's way repressed
Roll initiative.
by the weight of his armor.
No, let me make sure I get the turn
And he
order
thinks to
thing
himself,
going.
wow, these aliens have picked up on our tricks. It seems we need to improve.
Damn it, he's learning Piccolo's trick.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, taken forever. There we go.
So I need to
Turn
click
up
my
the
token.
music.
Damn it, Veal.
So I got a 23. I just forgot to click my token. I will edit that to the 23.
For some reason, it's taking forever to load up their sheets. So sorry if it's taking me forever
Dang.
to load
Remember
their
to click your
initiative.
token beforehand.
So King
And then bubbles.
King got a 4. I got a 9. And you
Yeah,
got a
it, is,
23.
it sucks when they take forever to open too. It's like
Hail's fast as fuck, boy.
It's like part of me wanted to like pre-roll things ahead of time, but like that takes away part of the fun.
Fair enough.
Alrighty.
I DM too. I understand the pain of having to open sheets.
Alright, just want to make sure. Go like yeah. Oh,
Oh yeah.
there we go. Alrighty.
Yeah.
For what? For.
Man, this bot beat this
I
bot
think that's
beat
just
iffy.
the way the music's supposed to be. I don't know. I don't know.
Is it always this starting off for you, Hale? The
No,
bot.
I don't usually have any issues.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, here, let's
Yeah,
try.
It
Let
does
me.
sound choppy on mine.
Let's try something.
Yeah, same. No, definitely not. I can.
Yeah, like I
Whoa.
usually don't have any issues.
Yeah, for some reason, right now today, it's
I don't
very.
know. Discord's being stupid.
Okay. Yeah, I have a backup.
We don't have to worry
Backup music just
I'll
in
just use
case.
the link,
So,
just
but
give
anyway.
me a link to whatever
So
music you
it
use,
is
and I'll open it up
Hale's
in,
turn.
Like I'm not having that many chops. I'm having like one every. Like I haven't had one in a while.
Oh no, the main
Yeah,
concern
now it's
for me
now
is
it's actually
just
good.
the
Some-
stream.
It's actually playing it well now.
Okay. Yeah. Trying to think. Yeah, I could technically dash and get to them, but do I really want to? Having to force them to come to us is probably a good idea. Hale is just going to do the smart thing and position himself to block off a larger section of the side as he walks forward, because I'm not even having to dash to move that far. He just walks forward and prepares a stance. As I think, yeah, I'm gonna stay in wolf style. I will click and post again for viewers.
Let me get a
Um,
different music. I'm gonna listen.
I think
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
just being
starting
weird.
and stopping that's killing
I think it
it,
might- it's
because
just
the
me-
song
this
itself
particular
has
song is
quiet
just having
parts and then
issues,
very
but-
loud parts. So what's happening is it's having issues picking up.
Yeah, all the
the
ones I
different
used to use for some reason aren't
no worries, I
YouTube
got
compatible
other
anymore, which
music,
Yeah,
sucks.
like I think like the steady sections it plays really well. I don't
Yeah,
know,
it
because I usually don't have
sucks.
any issues.
All right, so is that
I
everything?
mostly
Is
use
that
Mini
everything
mine,
for
and that one works
for
perfectly.
Hale?
Oh yeah, because Discord's cracking down or whatever the copyright shit is. Yep.
Yeah, he gets over there and he strikes up his stance, preparing for them to come over. I'm tempted to try and go second form here, but it does.
And
feel a
because
bit
you leveled up
preemptive.
last session, your DC would be a
A
little bit
bit
lower. So
wasted.
yeah,
we
so
already
your
got the
chances
armor
have
off as
actually
well.
improved
Yeah.
a little bit.
Going second form would just bump me up to.
Yeah, but so it went
Like,
from a DC 30 to a
26.
DC 25
Yeah,
because
don't
he
worry
levels
about
up.
it.
So,
Oh, the extra HP and stamina and stuff is nice,
We got this.
but
which with your extra HP, you
It's
could
only a
you'd
DC
probably
25.
survive whatever
We got
with
this.
the, an
Yeah.
average roll. You would be only
Yeah,
taking
but
like a
plus
D6 a turn.
one, yeah, no, don't worry.
no, I
about
have a +2. I have a +2 in 2nd form.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you need to be.
I can take it.
And it's also like if you do it while you're injured, you technically heal a little bit. You heal what 2 HP because it increases your con by 1 and you're level 2,
Yeah.
so you'd get
That's
2 HP, which is not nothing.
That'd probably be a bit too risky right
Yeah,
now.
that's why I'm saying it's too risky to do it preemptively.
Yeah.
I'd need to be a bit more prepared. Yeah. Yeah.
So is that your turn, Hale?
That is going to be my turn. I'm moving forward so that I have a larger radius of control. Because
Did
if she
you
tries to... Nope.
What are you gonna do with your bonus action? Like you still can dodge. You can do
All
a
right,
keep
so
out.
all
Oh, yeah.
attacks will have
yeah,
disadvantage.
no offense. I was just like, yeah, you got more options.
Oh, I
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah, I forgot I
There's-
have ranged attacks too. I technically could.
Yeah, you can.
Sorry,
it would be a
I'm used to playing melee characters as melee
yeah.
characters. You know what?
Yeah, because
I'm gonna
that's
take
the one thing I
dodge
don't like about holding
I'm
action.
gonna-
Because
I'm
you have to
gonna
you
prepare for
give
this.
up your regular action and then your reaction to do your regular
Actually,
action.
can I hold my action
But-
to like intervene?
But yeah, but that is definitely so you
if
can
they
so
try to
basically if
move to
anyone
either of my
enters your melee
sides, I can-
range, you'll use your
It's
reaction
also
to
gonna take your
punch him in the
reaction.
face.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
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 But I mean,
If
like,
you
your
just try to
whole-
hit interception.
Hey,
Yeah, you probably will. But she's heard some things about you. Let's just say that.
Yeah,
Okay, so
if-
with that, it is Riku's turn.
Yeah. He's basically trying to challenge her because she asked him to fight her. So he's given her the chance to move
Is
up.
it? Am I looking? Oh,
Alright.
oh, why is it? But for some reason, it's showing me it up twice on mine. Okay. Okay.
Alright.
Oh, so it is her turn. Okay. Oh, that is.
No, it is not. Riku
You.
got
Oh,
4.
damn it! You're 55 feet
No,
away.
you mean,
does she have
yeah,
any
yeah,
range? I
it's-
don't think
it's-
she does.
It's the
Yeah.
female.
She has other than
Yes.
basic key blast. She has
Uh,
no
be-
ranged
because she-
abilities. I
Yeah,
don't
she
think.
didn't roll a Clarkus token.
So that
Yeah.
might
Yes.
change up what
Yes.
she does.
That's
Let's see
why
what
he's
she's got.
challenging her.
Whoa. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Okay,
Ooh.
I know what she. So she's gonna stand there. She's going to. So she's gonna move 30 feet. I believe that was because then you're 25 more feet away. Yep. And she looks at you dead in the eye, and she's like, "So you're the strong one, huh? Huh?" And you see that, like, for some reason, like, she's, like, licking her lips in a very weird way. And as she does, her green eyes turn yellow. And her hair stands up. And she is going to go into Ozaru Fury. And that will be her turn. And then... And Veal,
Oh, no, she's
now
a
it's Veal's
card.
turn.
Oh,
He's gonna
she's
look
got
over
a
at her and
card
he's like,
for-
"What have I told you about not doing that right away? You should have waited for me. I could have, whatever." And he is going to. I just want to check the range on something.
Interesting.
What is he going to
Hale
do?
has a bit of a smirk as his stance lowers
Gotta do
even
his
more.
thing by,
As he's
sure,
just
the
full wolf
range.
fist at this point.
Roll 20, taking some time. All right, so he's going to. Let's see. What is the range on? Not on that. It is. Where is it? There it is. What is the range? 30. Okay, he's gonna have to get closer to her. So he's like, "What have I?" Oh yeah, he has to move. Actually, no. She is. Is she within 30 feet? She is technically. Yeah. So he's gonna look at her and he's like, "You should have waited. I could." God damn it! You're so annoying sometimes. And he waves his hand, and you see this green energy pour out of his arm and start swirling around Tilla. And she's like, "Oh yeah, that's the good stuff." As he is going, as just to keep you guys aware of what he's doing, he can only do this. This is one of the few things he can do, but he is going to. He's casting haste on her. That's why he said that's.
You're drugged.
Yep. And then, so that's his action, and then what's this?
Okay.
And then, as a bonus action, he
Oh,
throws out
no.
that energy,
Well,
and
I
it
know
hits
who
her.
I'm
It hits her,
targeting.
and then it comes back to him. But as it
Yep,
comes
I
back to him,
did
it
tell
doesn't
you to
float
go
into him.
after
It
one
flows
of them, 'cause
over
I'll
him,
handle one.
as some energy
got
seems
this.
to overflow him, and
Break
he's
his
going
concentration.
to
I'm gonna try. I got something
cast.
planned. I am glad.
Don't worry about the damage, so you can't do that. He's just doing it for the extra movement speed. Before the spell ends, so he's giving himself the extra movement speed, And now he can move 60 feet. He is going to move to here. Boom. Because that's one of the things I love about the thing is I was reading over the spells saying there is no, in this version, there is no limits to the amount of spells you can cast, like the type of spells, as long as you have the stamina for it. You can cast as many leveled spells as you want, which is perfect. It's the way it should always be. But I can see why it's not. Yeah, now I have to do that. That is, I gotta do that. Gotta do some doing the math here. But that is his turn. He's gonna
yeah.
take some minus.
Yep.
And
it's-
okay, now Bubbles.
great.
What is she gonna do? Oh dear lord, what will
Stamina's
she
a
do?
very, very precious.
She has so many things she can do. This is gonna be the tough part. Damn it! Why do they all have to go first? Okay. Okay. Ooh, what's the range on this? Ooh, 60 feet. Okay, so if she wanted to be within 60, so she's within. Okay, so and how far away is?
Listen, man.
Okay, so
you
she's
tried,
going to
okay?
go
It takes me a while to get
here,
my decks up. I need some.
and that
some,
should be within.
rated armor.
Yep. And she's going to point a hand out to both Tilla and to Veal and say, "Freeze!" And she's going to twin spell whole person. Yep. Yeah, she's good. Now con save. It's one of Tilla's better stats. And let's see.
my god.
Let's see what
Oh,
Veal gets.
Oh,
Once I
interesting.
open up, I haven't even looked at what she rolled yet.
That
I'm just
might
doing
actually
the rolls.
be a very. Oh, this
Oh
combo
yeah,
could be
now and
nasty.
then oh boy. Yep, and then Yep.
Oh.
Oh yeah, he easily passes. Yeah, so
That's
the battle
11,
hungry
boys. He's going
Saiyan
down.
is getting. Oh jeez, that's
What-
not good
what
for
is
her.
Oh. Well, they're paralyzed, right?
Yep.
Oh,
So
paralyzed.
that is
get auto
her
crits.
thing. Does she have
Oh, they
anything else she can do
auto-fail-
as
oh,
a
okay, he
bonus
passes, though.
action? I don't think she can, but I don't think I gave her the other thing. But let's. Damn it, why do I keep accidentally closing out their sheets? Just leave their sheets open.
I get advantage and auto crit.
Just so much
Yeah,
easier
it's
to.
that, yeah.
Yeah, she can't do anything else. Yeah, she can't do anything else next because that is.
Oh my god.
Okay, yeah, so that's her turn, and yeah, and then so she holds up her hands, and you see these like thin lines of energy pour out of her arms, and she throws them out,
This is a
and they
line,
wrap
okay?
around Tilla,
Colin
and Tilla
pointed
tries
it.
to like break free, but and then they like squeeze tighter, and she's
yes,
like,
that is
okay.
"Ah!"
Good to
And
know.
you can tell like she's fucking angry as hell. But as it wraps around Veal, he just like swats his hands, and he's like, "I taught you that trick. You know it's not gonna work on me." And Bubbles is like, "I had to try." And now it is Garlock's turn.
Alright, I'm spending 2 stamina to increase my movement speed. So I'm down to 11. I'm going to go up to Veal, about right here. And because
Ooh,
I
oh,
did
'cause it's a
not
dex
take
save,
a new
right?
technique this level,
Well,
As
that's
a
Veal's
bonus
best
action,
stat, so
I'm going
so
to
let's see.
line up Gallic Gun or Dark Gallic Gun and hit both Veal, who is concentrating,
Hey, so
and
this is a
the
dex save?
paralyzed,
Yeah, that's
Saiyan,
literally
who
his best stat, so
auto-fails
hopefully...
because he is paralyzed. Yeah, I can. I'm doing this as a bonus action.
Yeah.
As I 1-star
And she can't
mastered
take any
Gallic
reaction,
Gun.
so she can't. So he, but he
And
will. What can he
yes,
do against? Can he block? Right? Actually, wait. Or
Dark
let me. I just want to
Gallic
see what.
Gun!
'cause-
Okay, he takes half. But still.
Yes,
guy- the
but
other-
I'm taking
the
a look at what
female
he has
fails.
for
Yeah,
techniques.
she auto fails.
Because he might
Yep.
try and do something else. If
He can block, yes.
yes, does he? Oh, okay. So let me.
He would
just,
have to say
let me.
beforehand
Well,
to
first let
wild
me
sense
make.
them.
Stupid! My mouse is being dumb. Okay. Da-da-da, with the cheeky pieces. All right. So actually, as you fire your thing, he's like.
He also has to make.
He's like, ooh, nice. And
Constitution
he
saving
pulls back
throw.
his arm as a ball of energy appears in his hand, and he's going to
Concentration.
initiate a clash. Alright. Two stamina to use a technique of the same type. Alright, during the clash, both characters make a contested attack roll or spear check. The winner of this clash can. Yeah, so this would. Oh, his spirit is
interesting.
pretty good. Or it says it says or attack roll, so he could technically make it as an because this attack would be an attack roll, so this would be
Mine's
so he'll
just a
do
+8, so
an attack roll.
what's his spirit?
Oh, oh dear
Okay.
God! Yep.
I might
let me
fail
just
this,
see.
y'all.
I don't think he has anything. Okay.
Yes.
The learner character can cast
Yes.
if the techniques are not equal in rank, then yeah, oh, yeah,
I beat him, boy!
yeah,
I'm
and then he
clashing
doesn't.
through it!
Yeah, I don't think he can do anything because yeah,
I
you
don't
got
know. I don't know if
16.
that
He
auto
might
fails or
actually.
anything
I have to
either.
see what
I don't know.
if he can do anything with it because he might have. I don't think. Yeah, no, there's nothing he,
Oh wait,
he
yeah,
can't use
mine's
any
a
of his other
plus,
things
a
for
rank
that.
2.
So
Max
yeah,
power entry rate is
so-
+1.
yeah. So, yeah. So
He rolled a 10,
roll your.
yeah?
So what's how much damage is that guy? Oh, 23. Yep, and because he already used the thingy, he can't
Yeah.
block
Plus
it.
I'd have a
So
plus, it'd be
he
an
takes
18
and
because
then
he's
what's her
using a
name is
weaker technique.
taking all of that. And it's 23 and then he takes
I don't think that works for
12. Let's round up.
23. Block it, or
And
he
then
takes half,
he's
yeah.
gotta go -2 on his stamina. Still looking pretty good on his stamina, but
all of that.
that definitely he he
How mu-
holds out his thing and it's like he's like
and
point
that
blank
key
so
was
like you
12,
guys are like
so
point
I am
blank so he's
down
trying
to
to like
18 minus
fully
12.
overpower it, but like his orbs,
60.
like the size of his orb is so much smaller than yours that it, like even though he's
Yeah.
this is what I imagine like with his deck save I'm flavoring it as that like he uses his energy blast to like shield his like chest from the damage, but like his shoulders and like outer edges of his body still get through it, but Garlock's control
Don't
over
make
the
fun of a
beam
man's
causes it
orb.
to like reform behind him and it continues past.
He's
and
an
still
Namekian, he
hits
can't help it.
Tilla, who
Yeah.
can't do anything, and now I have to make that con check. Woohoo! So 12, yeah. So I gotta be a 12, which he's got decent con. Well, he's got pretty good con. This guy's pretty strong, so.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it! I mean, it means that she can't
Half
on her
the
next turn. She
damage
can't do anything because
for
it's haste.
12.
It would be
So-
it'd be 12. Yeah.
Yeah, so she's paralyzed and can't do anything on her turn because haste just ended. So,
Yes.
yeah, she is gonna get screwed.
Hey. Not that it does anything, because
I mean, yeah. She's also paralyzed too. And
Which is more than what you spent, right?
and for my should I attack or should I charge, y'all?
I would say charge this.
Yeah, I'm going to use my action to charge and gain back all that key.
It would be 12 plus wisdom, right?
Yes, I gain back 14 key, which is yeah, exactly, yeah. Which is why I made it a bonus action. So you see Garlock just launch out a massive like black and
Hey.
purple key, hitting both of them. And as his action, you just see his key just
Holy.
flare back up.
And
Well, now that we
alrighty,
actually have
Riku's
this, I can
turn.
do this. And that is his turn.
Yeah, so you
found the
see there's
soundboard
just
before
three
the-
like glowing orbs, probably about similar size to a Namekian Dragon Ball, just floating on either side. And now I didn't prepare anything, so I'll just
Just a
do
quick
I actually do
question.
I have
Red
any image
line,
I can
you're
just?
supposed to capture something. and
I'll
read
find I'll find something to put it there. But yeah, there's three things. Yeah, that works. Yeah. Boom. Yeah, ellipses. Yeah. Ah. What? Why is
You
it?
can
Oh,
just use the
because
art tool to put
I
these
think it's
circles.
trying to say think of it as your Majin form for some reason, but I
Yeah,
switched
that
it
was
to.
the-
Why
the
was I
plan.
deleted?
It should be two different tokens.
That's not.
Oh
good.
wait,
Let me
no,
get
your
my stuff
Majin
back
is
in.
the same token. Yeah, I think is
That
I
was,
think is
uh,
why
Oh my
they use
god,
the
what
same.
the fuck
But
is
I
wrong with
changed
this
it.
token, my dude?
Well,
Well, no, it's because you have.
I will just.
Yeah, well, it's because
Come
you
on,
have
where's
the you have the same you have it set as the
Yeah,
token on
still
the world map, which those world map tokens are way bigger than these tokens
Oh yeah.
because the world map's a lot bigger.
Yeah, I was trying to edit the stamina.
But
Thank you.
but yeah, that was
Okay,
the
now I
plan
can-
Hale was going over with you guys beforehand. We'll handle holding off these guys,
No,
and since
I'm just
Riku
gonna
is so much
make one,
faster,
and then I'm just gonna
you go
move it.
go steal their flags basically.
Oh
I-
yeah,
I-
that's exactly what he was gonna do.
Yeah.
I was gonna go hand to hand, but then they
Ah,
just
come on,
came up
stupid.
perfectly
Come
in
on.
a line. It's like I gotta do this.
Yeah.
My rank 2 technique is
Mm.
ready.
Come on.
Thank you.
One
Yeah, you
there,
can duplicate tokens.
and then one.
There we go. Got it.
Yeah,
set up.
that's gonna hurt her because now she's paralyzed and. Yep. Yeah, it's not gonna look great for her.
I broke the concentration. That's all I had to do, y'all.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
She can't use her action to try to end the paralyzed.
Either, yeah.
Don't fuck it up.
So I'm at the very least gonna get 2 full
Ah, what?
turns on her.
Wait, okay, what the hell happened?
Saiyan and Frost Demon working together with the
There.
brains.
Oh yeah.
Back
Come on,
at it
Riku,
again.
We're trusting you with
on,
the biggest
stupid
part of
things.
this.
I'm not the
Fuck it up.
fastest, but I got stamina.
Okay, why is it?
Oh, you will see something very funny this turn.
Ah, no, tell her. No.
Let me Weevil initiative. Is
Damn it.
my initiative still there? Or it should just be a 9.
Ah, let's move these individually. Anyway,
I go after
whose turn is it? It's Riku's turn.
You can
9.12.
get you. Yeah. You can
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying. It's being difficult. It's being difficult. It's not. It's. Oh wait, maybe if I click that, might. Nope, that's not. Why is it being so difficult? Just to. Okay, let's try it like that. Is that gonna?
Yep.
Yes, we-
I'll wait until you move them because that's important.
I did
Yeah,
draw them,
no
but I had. I'm
location.
trying to move them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's gonna look weird on stream. Oh well.
Just why don't you draw it with the paint?
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
still.
You don't.
No, just draw them with this.
Yeah. Don't worry about it being
Uh.
perfect, my dude. With
No,
for
okay.
that one for the no
I-
watchers.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this. No one's watching the stream right
no
now.
one's watching. I'm sorry.
Well, thank you.
Yet. We're not there yet.
Nah,
Yeah.
hold on. My boy Corn Kid hopped in.
My boy Corn.
Okay, so yeah, now those.
Yeah, he left the
I'm just
comment.
trying to.
Oh my God! What a legend.
Let me just flood the chat with hearts real quick. There you go. There's so many hearts. So many hearts. Love all the hearts. Yeah.
Does it pay my rent?
I'm about to come.
Okay, so you guys see Riku disappear in a flash. as he takes his cloak from Piccolo off, and he holds it
Okay,
out.
here's
as he
the important
scoops up
question I
all
have to
three of
ask. How are
these
you holding the
things.
third one? Because these things are about the size of the Namekian Dragon Balls, which Krillin could
Yeah, I
Krillin
spent
could only
3 stamina
carry
to
2.
increase my my speed by 30,
Oh, okay.
bonus action
Okay.
dash, which adds another 15. 75 times 3, that's 225.
God damn.
It's Piccolo's cloak. I said I was
Alrighty.
wrapping them all. It's sort of like,
Oh,
yeah,
he's using it as
He's
a
like
bat.
using it as a
Nice.
scoop.
as the
So
best.
is that
Nice.
everything?
Exactly. And I spent my object interaction to do that and like hold it out like a scooper. And
All right, and it is
That makes sense.